Hello, hello. Welcome to your everyday move segment. Let's start on our back on our mat. Lower yourself all the way down. Extend your legs straight out in front of you, arms overhead. Flex the toes back toward the shin. Reach those fingertips way far up over your head. Take a couple deep breaths. Gently grab through your core, and then we're going to pull the left knee into the chest. And then return it. Gently grab through that core, pull the right knee into the chest. And then return. Arms go back up overhead. Take a really deep inhale. With your exhale, we're going to come all the way up. So depending on where you're at with your core strength, you'll need your hands all the way out in front of you. Push your low back into the ground. Drive those heels down. And then we're going to reach all the way forward, stretching out in front of us. So with your inhale, we're going to lower all the way back down. So scoop tight through that low belly. Push the low back into the ground. I always kind of end up walking, my butt walks backwards. It's okay. Take your deep inhale. Exhale. Come all the way forward. So as you're in that full forward fold, that stretch over the legs, feel like you're still contracting. Make sure you're still contracting through the belly, through that core always. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me say it, but it is so necessary. Inhale back. Exhale, flex. Keep flexion. Scoop forward. Inhale back. Let's go 3 more. Exhale, come forward. Keep that flexion on the core. Inhale behind. Exhale forward. Last one. Grab, scoop through that low belly and stretch forward. Okay. Readjust so you're at the front of your mat. Okay. We're going to go again, but this time we're going to add in a little bit of a twist. So we're going to twist our arms to the left side of the left foot, right? Twisting back that way. Then we'll come back to center. So inhale behind, bring those arms up, twist across. So grab a little bit more through that left side oblique. We're going to go 5 on the left and then our 5 on the right. Exhale, twist over. Inhale down. Push that low back into the ground. If coming all the way up doesn't work for you, just come halfway, right? Just until you find that little sticky spot and then come up and twist from there. One more. I'll do it that way this time. So just until that point where you're like, oh no, I don't think I could get back, and then twist across. All right. I walked on my mat a little bit again, so I'm going to walk back. Inhale, hands behind. Flex through that core. Exhale, mosquito. Holy cow. I think I got it. Twist to the right. Inhale back. Push that low back into the ground. Exhale to the right. There's 2. 3 more. Inhale. It's all about getting that scoop through the belly, all the way up and all the way down. Flex deep into that core. 4. Lower down. Back. Last one. And 5. Awesome job. Okay, pull both feet in. So we're going to go into a little bit of a butterfly stretch. Grab your hands around side those toes, lift the chest, and pull forward. So we're going to pull that chest forward, drop your knees down to the ground, and then I want you to hinge your body back and then round. So let your low back pull away from you, scoop through the belly. The upper back is rounding and doming. Inhale and pull forward. Squeeze between the shoulder blades. Exhale and round. Inhale, pull forward. Should feel good on that upper back, the lower back, and your inner thighs and hip flexors. Pull forward, hinge back and round. Give me 2 more. Inhale forward, exhale back and round. Last time. Inhale, come forward, and then exhale and round. Okay, we're going to go back onto that back. Okay, extend your right leg out, have a slight bend in that right knee, and then your left leg is going to hover off the ground. Arms are going to come up overhead. So we're going to pull the hands toward the knee, scooping across that low belly. You will keep a little bit of pressure in that right heel. Inhale back, exhale up. Now, if you need to keep your head on the ground, that's fine. If it's getting a little bit too much pressure or tension in your neck, then just keep that head on the ground. Inhale out, exhale, tuck it in. Let's go 3 more. Inhale out, exhale, tuck. Inhale, 2, 1. All right, now the left leg goes down, kind of a slight angle, bend in the knee, and then we'll do that other side. Extend arms and legs, and then tuck. Hands toward the knee. So just a little crunch. Building lots of awareness in that core. That chin will tuck in. 2 more. Open, flex. Bring it together. Perfect. Roll yourself up. Let's go back to that butterfly. Okay, this time, once you get your feet together, and wherever you like your feet, if they're a little bit further away from you, that's totally fine. If you like to bring them a little bit closer into your crotch, that's fine. Put your hands behind you on the ground and push the chest up away from that rib cage. So slide into the hands, drive the chest up, shoulders roll back and down. Okay, take a nice deep inhale. Your left hand, you'll mirror me, your left hand comes around to the right thigh and twist. Bring it around, switch that other direction. Right hand, left thigh, push into that left hand behind you and twist. Switch. So keep driving into that hand that's on the floor because that's going to help keep your chest lifted nice and high. You're also got to use a little bit of that core flexion because that's what's holding your back nice and tall and long as well. Lift it high, press through that hand behind you. Okay, we'll go 1 more each side. Right hand behind, left hand behind, push into that right hand on the knee. All right, come back to center. Let's rotate around to our hands and knees. Curl your toes under behind you, sit on your heels. Hands are going to come out in front. Just push into the hands to drive those hips back into the heels a second. Slide the shoulder blades down. We're going to come forward, pulling the chest through. So grab deep into the core, push into those hands, flex those glutes, pull the chest through all the way. Lots and lots of glute flexion. If your low back feels this a little bit much, just open your toes wider on the mat. Okay, hinge all the way back. Inhale here, and then exhale, come forward. Remember, we push into our thumb and first finger to help support the wrists. Drive back. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Keep grabbing through those glutes. Tuck that tailbone under. Grab through those glutes. We're going to go 2 more. And then again, last one. And forward. Okay, so hold this position a second. We're going to keep those shoulders up over those wrists, okay? But we're going to rotate now onto the left outer edge of your left calf. So left hand on the ground, left outer calf, bring your right arm up, and then bring the right leg behind you. Okay, so this is kind of a build up for what they call a wild thing in yoga. So if you can, go ahead and push into your right foot and extend the left straight in front of you. Just like that. Open that chest, get a little lift in the hips, and then we're going to go ahead and let the hips drop all the way down. Rotate that right leg forward and around. And then before we hit the other side, we're going to get another little lift. Flex into those glutes. Drive a lot in through those hands. Okay, bring your knees back in a little. We'll do that same little setup. If you know how to go into a wild thing and you're comfortable with that, just in yoga, go ahead and feel free to hit that up from the position we just came from, your up dog. Otherwise, rotate onto the outer edge of the right shin. Push into the right hand. Bring the left leg behind, left arm up overhead. Push into that left foot and extend the right leg out straight. So you're pushing a lot of pressure into that left thigh, flexing a lot through your right glute. Lift the chest, stretch across, and then slowly let the hips drop down. Rotate back to center. This time we're going to keep elbows on the ground, hit a little cobra. So put both elbows underneath the shoulders, press into those forearms, and then pull the elbows back, pulling the chest forward to build some traction in the back. Belly nice and strong. Pull here, pull here. Okay, lower the chest down, and you have a couple different options. We're going to push up. You can push up through a chaturanga, so basically your knees will be off the ground. You're going to do a straight push up into a plank, or keep your knees and quads on the ground. Push from your knees, then drive your hips up and back. So we're going to hit our downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Drop the left knee toward the ground so that the right leg straightens, and you stretch through the right calf and the hamstring. Keep pressing your chest back toward the thighs, and then switch. Drop your left heel down to the ground as your right knee softens in front of you. All right, so we're going to try to go into that wild thing again. This time we're going to go from our down dog instead of our up dog. All right, so drive both heels down to the ground nice and even. Slide the shoulder blades down and find your core. Hinge your body forward, so you're coming into a plank. Plant into your left hand. Rotate to the outer edge of the left foot. Rotate your right toe behind, and then lift your hips up high, away from the ground. Grab to that core. Flex through the back, the shoulder. Enjoy all the different stretches and activations you're getting here. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and come down the same way. So let your hips drop all the way down. Rotate that right leg over. Come onto the knees. Press into your hands, up and back, downward facing dog. Slide the chest back toward those thighs. Take an inhale, exhale, come forward. Rotate to the outer edge of the right foot. Right hand is supporting the weight. Left toe comes behind, and then extend that left arm up overhead. Get that arch in your oblique on the right side. Flex through those glutes, and then slowly lower those hips all the way down. Rotate back to the mat, forearms down, elbows on the ground. Push into those forearms. Pull the forearms back toward your hips. Flex those glutes. All right, and then bring your hands back. Again, we're going to come into that little push-up into a downward facing dog. So you can stay on your knees or push all the way straight up, hit your plank, drive back to that downward facing dog. Slide the shoulders back and down. We want to get that opening in the upper back. Good job. All right, so from here, go ahead and drop your knees down. Bring yourself up onto those knees, and then we're going to bring the left leg forward. Left leg comes forward, and then you're going to hinge forward a bit. till the left knee's on top of your ankle and you feel a stretch in that back hip flexor. Interlace your hands behind your back and then slide those hands down your hamstring, keeping that left knee right on top of your left ankle. Open that chest, shoulders slide back and down. Drop the hips so you can get a little more stretch. Okay, if you can, keep your hands there. We're just going to hinge back. Toe comes up in the front, and then drop your chest forward. So now we're going to get a little bit of work done in the hamstring, stretching there. Still getting the opening across your chest. Shoulders pulled down away from the ears. And then lift up. Okay. Release there. You're going to bring the left knee back. We're going to go through one little down dog. Plant your hands. Push into that thumb and first finger. Hips go up and back. Slide those shoulder blades down. Belly nice and strong. So we want to get a little bit of flexion through those shoulder blades and through the core. This is a great way to flatten through that upper back, build some muscle behind those shoulder blades through the rhomboids, and teach the neck to stay out of it. Okay, drop back onto those knees. Walk your hands back. We're going to go to the other side. So now that right leg is going to come forward. Get your right knee right on top of that right ankle. Clasp your hands behind the back. Open the chest. Let your fingertips kind of drop down that hamstring. Open the chest. Shoulders pull toward one another on the back. All right, and then we'll hinge back. So the toe comes up in the front, straighten through that leg. Keep your hands clasped, and the chest is going to drop over that front leg. Try not to collapse into the back. I've got to watch it myself. Keeping that lift of the chest, right? So it's like your chest is pulling toward your toe. You're not collapsing through the spine. All right, release. Pull that toe back. I'm going to push back into our downward facing dog. Push into that thumb and first finger. Slide those hips up and back. Drop the heels down toward the ground. Rotate those armpits. So kind of suck your armpits up and back, and then your elbows point to your toes. Bring your body all the way forward into a plank position. Shoulders over the wrists. Tuck your tailbone under. We're not going to hold long, but hold for a couple seconds. Keep it up. Drive in deep. Okay, push back to your downward dog. And then we're going to drop those knees again. Walk those hands back. Okay, so like we just did, you're going to take that left leg forward. Keep that right knee back. Okay, and then this time we're going to work into a twist. So take your right arm and bring it outside that left knee. See if you can clip the elbow outside the knee. We've done those prayer hands before. This time I just want you to keep your left hand on your low back. Push into both arms to kind of help build some traction. Lift the chest up off the ribs. Rotate a lot through the rib cage. All right, and then untwist. We're going to go into a little pigeon. Take your foot, your left foot, to the right side of the mat, and then try to lower onto the outside of that left calf. Walk the back knee back just until you have the stretch that you want. You do not need to come all the way down. It's okay if your hips are off the ground a little bit. So you're kind of going to sit like this for just a second, and then we're going to start walking the hands to the left. So outside that left thigh, and you should feel a little more stretch in the right side of the body. Keep angling that right hip, the front of the right hip, down toward the ground. It's going to want to lift up, and you're trying to push it down. Okay, walk your hands back to the front. Kind of walk your back knee in a bit. Come back to our downward facing dog. Push into those hands. Slide the heels down toward the ground. Hollow out those armpits. Find flexion in the back, core. Drop your knees. Let's go that other way. Left leg comes forward. No, we just did that side. Right leg comes forward. Hinge it forward just a bit, and then you're going to take that left elbow, hook it outside the right knee. Take your right hand, push it onto those hips, and then find that little bit of traction, tension, right? So you're pushing the left elbow into the right knee into the left elbow, and that right hand is watching to make sure those hips are staying level and supported. Chest is lifted up off the rib cage. Hold it nice and strong. Okay, unwind. And then you're going to take that right foot over to the left side of your mat. Walk those hands forward. Get your outer edge of the shin on the ground. Walk the back knee back. Find that position. So if you're up here, it's good. You do not have to get the hip all the way down. And then take your hands and walk them to the right. Okay, but once you kind of get it walk to the right, then drop that left hip down. Kind of use those hands on the ground to push the hips over. Should feel the outer edge of that left side. All right, walk those hands back around. Left knee walks in. Bring that right foot back. And if you can't guess, we're going back one more. Downward facing dog. Push through those heels. Hinge the hips up and back. Go ahead and bend your knees a lot for me. Push the chest back toward those thighs. So see how close you can get your chest toward the thighs. Then once you have that, unless your hamstrings are already screaming, stay there, but otherwise push your legs straight so the heels drop down. Keeping a strong back, strong core. All right, and then go ahead and let your knees drop back down to the ground. Hips back onto those heels. Let's take a quick grab, hands behind, push that chest forward. All right, hopefully your core feels alive, hamstrings feel stretched, and that upper back feels a little more supple, flexible, and open. All right, thanks for joining me.